Hello again and welcome to Paul's Racing Channel and to the Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by upshiftstore.co.uk, Hambridge Transport Limited, and in association with digitalmotorsports.com. So this is our final round then, round 8 of our BTCC Replica Championship from League 2. And we're back at Mount Panorama, Bathurst in Australia, where it all started 8 rounds ago. And if I recall, back then, everyone was everyone was new to the cars, and the drivers didn't really know each other, so it was a little bit messy at times, wasn't it, in that first round? But I think you'll agree that it's certainly tidied up since then, and I'm hoping for a great round here tonight. 3 races, 3 15-minute races as usual. Although having said that, we all know that the final round, when the drivers don't need to use his cars again, tends to be well, they tend to go for it, let's just put it that way. So anyway, let's just go through these points, or to the top 5 anyway, like I have been doing. So we know that Thomas has pretty much secured that championship at the top spot on 378 going into this one. James Stevens in second on 307, so he's reduced that gap to 71 points. It was 100, wasn't it, going into the last round? But obviously the bad performance by the Alphas has allowed him to get a little bit closer. So 307 for him. Grasshopper on 272, Molson on 232, and C Broad in 5th on 228. So it's all pretty close, 2nd and 3rd and 4th and 5th. So it's all still up for grabs in those positions. So this is the grid then. Going into this one, Thomas on pole position with his teammate Seamus in 2nd, so the 2 Alphas on the front row. Grasshopper in 3rd, James in 4th, Sideways 5th, Molson 6th, C Broad in 7th, Kevin 8th, Benzo 9th, Gingerbread in 10th, Potsy in 11th, Serial on 12th, and Graham in 13th. Let's go then, let's see how this goes. Revs are up, and away we go. It's the Alphas. Head up to turn 1, and Seamus round the outside of Thomas, so it's Seamus who's leading them away now. Thomas there in 2nd with James in 3rd. Grasshopper 4th. Oh, and it's all getting a bit close there at the back, all this going up now. This is not going to work, is it? Going into the right-hander. Oh, Kev up the inside of Sideways. Plenty of room given there, so actually pretty good through there in the end. Gingerbread in 9th. The Serial behind him in 10th. Then Benzo and Potsy. 13 cars here tonight. Graham at the back there, so the 2 Astons at the rear of the field. So we've got 2 Astons at the back and the 2 Alphas at the front. Seamus leading it, but Thomas under severe pressure now from James in that Ferrari as they come up over Skyline. Oh, and there's a lot of lag on Seamus's car there. He got a penalty as well. Probably that lag that's done that, I would think. But this battle for this 2nd place early in this race is well and truly on James. Obviously, these 2. Or James, I should say, and Grasshopper, who's in 4th, obviously battling for that 2nd and 3rd spot in the championship at the end of this. Oh, what's happened there? Seamus just suddenly brake. Oh, I might have just thought it was the penalty coming off, but he didn't seem to ghost, did he? And it looked like his teammate was going to smack into the back of him. James takes it though, round the outside of Thomas, through the cutting, and now round the left-hander. So he did make it. It wasn't the cleanest through that section there was James, and I think he might have allowed Thomas to back in on the outside of him, and he's done it to Thomas. Now can he hold it in the final corner? No, James had that inside line, so James it is who remains in 1st, just from Thomas, although Thomas is going to have him here at turn 1, hill corner, and he's up on that inside, and he has got it. Thomas says he held it there. Yeah, he does. Nice and clean from them boys. Oh, and Seamus off in the background, and yeah, I don't think that lag's helping at all. Terrible lag on his car. Everyone else seems to be okay, but he's a bit jumpy. And Molson said, well, I'll have that, and Grasshopper also said it, so Grasshopper followed through, not literally his rival into 3rd place. That's James in 2nd, so Thomas is leading, then James, then Grasshopper, then Molson. So the two NSXs in 3rd and 4th place, and then we got Laggy Seamus there in 5th. The Lagmeister, as we probably call him from now on, I think. Yeah, it's pretty bad, I can't be watching that. Ginger is 6th. Let's go to someone else. We'll come back and see if it might clear itself. Ginger in 6th place, then Kevin 7th. And then Sideways in 8th. And then a bit of a gap back then to Potsy in 9th place, but these lot making up that top 8. And Sideways. Oh, and who's that? That's Kevin. Oh, and it's Gingerbread at the top of the hill. Yeah, he's lost it. Oh, and he's been hit by Potsy. And yeah, well, not really much you could do. That's what happens when you're in the middle of the road up there. It's blind anyway, and well, I made him go all the way back to 13th and in last spot. Couldn't really do much about being hit by Potsy. Potsy didn't know much about it either. But this battle is on at the top as James attacks Thomas there. Oh, and gets him again. Great move. So James again up to 1st place. Thomas is going with him. Our champion-elect in 2nd place. James knows if he wants to secure that 2nd, all he really needs to do is finish ahead of Grasshopper, and at the moment it's exactly what he is doing. Because in fact Molson has taken his teammate and got himself up into 3rd place. So James, that's all he really needs to do. He doesn't even really need to win as long as he's ahead of Grasshopper. That will do nicely to secure that runners-up spot. I mean, don't get anything with runners up, but it's pretty good considering the competition out here. Grasshopper there in 4th. So top 3 go up, get promoted up to League 1. Anyway, it's just really a case of who finishes in what position. And at the moment, it's James who's going to be getting that 2nd off of Grasshopper, who will be finishing 3rd. He's 4th on track as it stands. Seamus, or Lagmeister, in 5th. Kev in 6th place. It's all settled down a little bit, hasn't it? Not as messy as I thought it might be. Oh, a little bit of grass taken by Kev. Mind you, it's only race 1. And we know that there's going to be, the night's going to be drawing in one of these races at least, so that should be fun. Sideways right on the back of Kev now. Here we go. Now he's not going to get anything clean through this section. If he can set himself up for the Conrod Straight, he might be able to get a little bit of something here, and that's going to help. Kev's just hit that wall, so that's certainly going to help. Sideways, here we go, he's on. So Sideways then, going to get well in that slip. Going to hope that he can get past Kev by the time they get into the cutting. GTR's quick, but then that WRX is as well, but well, he's not close enough really. You can't go for that, no. You need to be up the side of them at least before you get to that point. Hard on the brakes here for the left-right. Oh, and Kev out of shape, and it's nearly hit Sideways, and again, good driver from these two, but I think Sideways might just get him, but Kev's on that inside. Now Kev's going to have it unless Sideways goes around the outside, which he did try actually, and he might still try it, and he might still succeed. He has. Great move from Sideways. Now Kev is on the inside, but I don't think he's far enough up, or yeah, he is. Yeah, he did make it stick. So good driving from these two. Side action. Terrific stuff. Sideways there, 6th then. Kevin 7th, Seabroad in 8th. He's having his own little battle with Serial there in 9th place, with Benzo in 10th. But Seabroad doing all he can to try and get up with that battle ahead, who's still going on here between Kev and Sideways. I just see it was a bit door to door again, but they are giving each other space, which is good. And Sideways still coming out on top there in that battle. And it looks like it's going to be going on for the second half of this race, halfway through now already. really flown through this first race, hasn't it? Got two more crackers coming this way as well, our way, and as I say, got an evening race as well. So stick with us, please. Sliding again, Kev. Oh, really sliding it around. Doesn't have much tyre left as he carries on like this, but oh, what's happened there? Oh, and that was a big glitch. Sideways is now behind Kev, so yeah, so glitchy going on there. So there we go. Internet connections there. Seabroad in 8th, Serial 9th, Benzo 10th. I mean, they should know the track, in fairness. They've done 3 races around it previously, haven't they, of course? So no excuses for that. Hot Seat in 11th. Graham is teammate in 12th. And then Ginger just trying to recover from that big off in 13th. He is getting on the back of Graham, but if anything, he probably might just salvage 12th place by the 12th, maybe 11th by the time this race is finished. A lot of scuffs, obviously. Back up top though, and it's still James holding off Thomas. Is where we want to be at the moment. Molson slowly catching them while these two are battling. He's just slowly creeping up as Thomas attacks James again, but he's on that outside, but he's got that pace in that Alpha. If he can get past him and go around the outside of that, it's very tricky here with the right hander. No, he's not going to go for that, Thomas. I say confidently. Oh, and yeah, almost. Well, he did go for it actually. He wasn't giving much space there, was he? He riding the curbs high and mighty, and it almost cost him in terms of track position. But he holds on and keeps in second place. So James doing a great job just keeping out there in front at the moment. But a great battle here at the top of the race and top of the championship. Molson looking good in 3rd. Looks like he might have that 3rd place and podium place up for. He might have that now. Looking good there with 5 minutes left. Steady as usual is Molson. And then I was going to say his teammate is in 4th, but actually he's been taken by Lagmeister into 4th now. And Seamus, Grasshopper back to 5th, so he must have had a moment somewhere. So back to 5th for Grasshopper, just what you didn't want, with James leading the race. Kevin 6th, Sideways 7th. How's that battle getting on? Oh, it's deteriorated a bit, and actually Sideways is now under pressure from his own teammate Seabroad. So the two WRXs are going to have a battle now. So Seabroad looking to take his teammate. I mean, they've been pretty good teammates actually. So I would expect a little bit of team orders here. As Seabroad pulls out. Yeah, Sideways, plenty of room. Up to 7th goes Seabroad. Sideways said, there you go, mate, you have that. As it's you. Sideways then. And Seabroad, 7th and 8th place. And Serial in 9th. In the Porsche. Kept out of trouble here. The Serial, not really ever been in any, has he? Benzo in 10th. Again. Nice and steady in 10th place from the yellow machine. Let's go back to the WRX battle, and Sideways, will he attempt to attack his teammate? I don't think he will. He might do a little bit of defensive job now because he's got Serial right up his backside. So Serial now, let's see if Sideways can just keep him behind him. Looks like he's going to try as well, to be fair, to Sideways. Oh, Serial thought about a little dive then. Oh, he did have a dive, but he's just hit the barrier, and that's it, he's gone. Easily done there. You think there's more space than there actually is as you turn that left hand out, and it kind of runs out the room that you think you've got. And that's it. What he did, just see a little gap, didn't he, up the inside of Sideways, but it didn't work out, and before you know it, you're facing the other way. So Sideways then, still behind his teammate in 8th place. let's see the battle at the top then and see how that goes. Here we go. Thomas is now taking the lead, so he's back up front with James in second. This is probably the biggest gap we've seen from these two the entire race as we hit the 13-minute mark. A couple of minutes left now, but this is still on for James if he wants to get victory, that's for sure. Thomas doesn't really need, he doesn't need to do anything. He's got that championship pretty much wrapped up. But every driver wants to victory and wants to win, don't they? So he'll be going to the end, but he ain't going to do anything silly. James, on the other hand, he wants maximum points to get away from his rival Grasshopper, but he's fine because he's down in 5th place anyway. There's his teammate Molson in 3rd. Going into the last minute now, so this is going to be the final lap for everybody. So Molson looks like he's going to comfortably get a 3rd place. Seamus still in 4th. And still lagging really bad. It'll be interesting to see if he comes out these next couple of races, and if he does, just how bad that's going to be. Because I can't watch that for too long, to be honest. Grasshopper in 5th, Kevin 6th. Sea Broad, runs wide. They both ran a little bit wide, but Sea Broad did just maybe scrape that barrier with his wing mirror. Sideways in 8th, Benzo up to 9th now, with Serial back to 10th because of his off he had up here at the cutting. Ginger in 11th, Graham in 12th, and Potsy, the 2 Astons, in 12th and 13th, so not a great race here for them two. Looks like Potsy's had an off somewhere, looking at those dents and scuffs. So back to our leader then, and let's stay with him now to the end as he comes through this final sector. Thomas, who's got away from James in the end after a hard-fought battle between them both. Fair driving, really good battle, nice and clean, but it's going to be Thomas that's going to come out victorious and get another victory under his name here in the championship. So Thomas it is, winner of race 1. Congratulations to Thomas. Under some severe pressure from James, who's going to get a good 2nd place. For him, Molson, excellent 3rd for him. He'll be pleased with that. And Seamus, the Lagmeister, will he make it over the line without disappearing? He does. That's 4th for him. Grasshopper's going to be disappointed with 5th place. Really, for his own point situation, I mean. Really wanted to get in front of James, but he didn't manage it. So Grasshopper in 5th, Kevin 6th. Good for Kev. Sea Broad's going to hold off in front of his teammate then and get 7th place. So it's going to be the 2 WRXs, 7th and 8th place respectively. And then Benzo with a good 9th place, who actually got past Serial as well. So Benzo up to 9th. Well, we knew that, didn't we? Serial in 10th. Ginger did get both Graham and Potsy in the end, so gets 11th place after his massive off. Graham, well, that's not the right way, is it? So he might actually lose 12th spot if he's not careful from his teammate. He should be alright. So the 2 Aston Martins limp home in 12th and 13th place, Graham and Potsy. So that's your race 1. Hope you enjoyed that. Got 2 more races to come for you, races 2 and 3. Catch me very soon for those. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you there.